Joining us now is one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. Bill Sullivan is the executive director of Crossroads of Michigan and joins us now on the program. Bill, thanks for being with us.
Hi, Tyler. Nice to be with you.
Yeah, glad to have you on with us today to talk about all the good things that you're doing at Crossroads of Michigan. For those that aren't familiar with Crossroads, tell us about your organization's history and its mission.
So we've been around since 1971, so that's about 52 years now. During that time period, we have provided basic needs resources and programs to those who live in extreme poverty or are homeless. Now, those basic needs resources are things like food, clothing, hygiene products, transportation, things of that sort. Where we have moved is more into the direction of not only providing that, but also to help people to understand what their stability goals are and how we might help them to achieve a higher level of stability by reducing poverty.
And that's a tough task to undertake, especially nowadays when we have seen kind of ebb and flow in recent years of people going in and out of poverty and back into it again with COVID-19 and coming out of COVID-19 and into our current economic time. So how has these last few years really impacted the way that Crossroads approaches helping these individuals, navigating life under the circumstances of poverty and homelessness, but also, as you said, those preventative measures, those interventionary measures that help them stay out of that after they get through the tough situation they're in?
Yeah, so COVID really did, it opened our eyes to a lot of things. We have seen for so many years, it's why we're there, is to provide these resources for people who really need them. They're in crisis. What COVID did is it kind of opened our eyes to often the crisis that someone is in. It looks like and it sounds like it's a crisis of today. However, it's really a longer term, ongoing, consistent crisis. That's where we start getting into words like generational poverty, the cycle of poverty, et cetera, et cetera. Through all of that, that really enabled us by seeing so much clarity around that, to ask ourselves, what is our role in being able to change this trajectory a little bit? What we have learned is we have become masters at resource distribution on how to get the right resources to people in the right way, in the right time. We've become really, really good at that. But what have we learned from that? And what we are discovering is we have learned that through a very unique relationship that we have with our clients, because they trust us, because they've been coming to us for so long, that the more that we know about them, the more we're better able to help them in stop that crisis, stop that ongoing cycle that they're in. And through that, what we do at Crossroads is we really embrace innovation. We embrace different approaches. We feel comfortable to think courageously about our work, to invite the right people in to help us with that. And through that, we're developing these programs that really are intended to reduce poverty and to increase sustainable stability in the lives of people. And that's based on what we have learned in the last 52 years of our strength, as well as really understanding our clients and what those dynamics are that contribute to somebody being in constant crisis. And Tyler, some of those issues are big and they feel like they're insurmountable to approach. Things like consistent and persistent racism, oppression, trauma. These are really big issues. If we don't know if we don't know about these issues, if we don't know the role they play on the lives of people, then we're not able to build effective interventions. So it is the blending of all of that, which is really where our sweet spot is now.
More information can be found on their website, crossroadsofmichigan.org. Again, crossroadsofmichigan.org, or you go to sharedetroit.org, and you can find more information by clicking on their Find a Nonprofit section on the front page of their website and just search Crossroads of Michigan to find all the info you need on the variety of services. And as you mentioned, they are extensive services because poverty and because homelessness are not one-size-fits-all issues. It's not one singular cause and effect that leads someone into that sort of a situation in life. And so and that's my favorite thing about what your organization does, just reading up on what your organization does to help these individuals and just how much of an effect do these sorts of interventions have over time in helping these individuals prepare for life beyond poverty, life beyond homelessness, to maintain that sort of upward mobility in their life, and also provide that momentum too for the next generation to have those similar skills.
The impact is pretty significant. But the way that we get to that, that's really what's a little bit interesting about our work. So what we are surrounded by, and thank God that it's there, are people who do provide resources for these immediate needs of people. But what we do is we ask the question in a different way. As an example, we do have a workforce readiness and jobs program. Initially, what we were doing in the past is somebody would need a job. So we would give them computer access to search the job sites and help them with resumes. We think we have learned more in the last 52 years to where we can look at that differently. Instead, our goal is not to get that client a job because we think we can do that. Our goal is how do we help that person stay in the job? Because if we can succeed at that, then what we're doing is we're helping that client find sustainable stability, something they have not had in their life. And yet the way to get there is for us is just to ask that question in a different way and to work with them and coach them on being successful in a job in a different way. That would be one example of real strong impact that's very sustainable. And we're doing it just through innovation and by just asking the question in a slightly different way.
Yeah, and thinking about it on a larger scale level, having those sort of interventions work and having those skills be developed so strongly, it allows them to approach other things that are also issues and also contributing factors to homelessness in their life, and then they're able to take care of those issues too. And all of those come together to create a much better lifestyle for these individuals and much better potential for them and for their families as well. So, Bill, if people are interested and would like some of these services for themselves or for someone that they know that's dealing with homelessness or is in poverty, how can they get access to some of these services?
So we're there Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. All the information is on our website on how to reach us either through email or through direct phone. We also have a soup kitchen on Sundays. We are the only soup kitchen that serves a free meal on Sundays in Detroit. We serve between 500 and 1,000 people every week, and we have been doing that consistently every week for 45 years. So we've gotten pretty good at that. And we invite a bunch of different groups, a bunch of different people down to who have a high level of care and they want to work with this population, they want to affect this population, and they help us do that every week. And we're really, really fortunate with that.
We're joined by Bill Sullivan on today's edition of the Megacast, the Executive Director of Crossroads of Michigan. You can find more information on their website, crossroadsofmichigan.org, or visit sharedetroit.org and search in the Find a Nonprofit section for Crossroads of Michigan. Bill, all these efforts are great and help so many people each and every day here in southeastern Michigan. But all of these efforts, like with most nonprofits, none of this really is able to happen at the level that it does without the help of people out in the community volunteering and donating. How can people participate in some of this great work and help their neighbors right here in southeastern Michigan as they're going through a tough time in their life or trying to get out of a tough lifestyle that they're stuck in?
Yeah, so again, on our website is how one can be directed to our volunteer portal as well as how to donate. Our volunteer experiences is rather unique. We don't design it on what our needs are and how we can plug somebody in to help us do more of that. No, we figured that one out. That's easy. Instead, what we believe in is people have an extraordinarily high level of care. We call that caring power. We feel that it is our responsibility to understand what it is that you want from that, what it is you need from that, and we align that to responsibilities that we have that ultimately result in not only helping us, but also giving you a sense of purpose and a sense of meaning in your life. That is our goal. If we succeed at that, and I think you're going to stick around with us for a while, you might even want to donate to us. Our donors, we're really, really fortunate. Half of our revenue comes from individual donors, and it is through that caring power that people have the confidence in us, what we have been able to affect in the lives of over 150,000 people. That translates about 15,000 people a year currently that we're working on. They see the impact of that. They like the direction that we're going, and they feel that it's a worthy investment for them to meet what they're looking for within themselves. Is that feeling of doing something powerful, doing something meaningful that they can actually see the results of.
There are a number of different volunteer opportunities and ways that you can support Crossroads of Michigan. And as Bill said, all of those are on their website, crossroadsofmichigan.org. If you want to go directly, it's crossroadsofmichigan.org/volunteer for more information, sharedetroit.org. Also a great place to go to learn more information about volunteer opportunities now and in the future and other ways that you can help organizations like Crossroads of Michigan. We're joined by Bill Sullivan, the Executive Director of Crossroads of Michigan. Bill, a few more minutes with you before we'll need to say goodbye today. Anything else that we haven't discussed that would be important for our audience to know or to consider at this time about your organization?
I think anyone who's listening to this, if this sparks anything within them, so that is really their caring power, and that's what we call it. And that's everything to us. That's what we harness in order to be our best selves. If you want to align that and activate that to really making a difference in the lives of people, we have figured out how to do that. Let us help you to do that. We can plug you in almost right away. In fact, in most cases, immediately we can plug you in. And there's a variety of volunteer experiences that we have. They include working one-on-one with our clients and helping to assess what their needs are. It also includes helping with our soup kitchen. It could mean folding some clothes from our clothing closet or restocking our food shelves in our pantry. There's a lot of different opportunities we have. So we encourage you that if you're feeling that, get in touch with us. We will find a way to help you activate that in a way that we're pretty certain you're going to find a lot of meaning and purpose behind.
Bill, thank you so much for joining us today and telling us all about the great things you're doing at Crossroads of Michigan.
You bet. Thanks, Tyler. Nice talking with you.